everyone, I'm Naomi McDonald, and this is my book, Midnight Warriors. Here's a little excerpt from pages 108 to 110. Enjoy! I looked at Jaden, who is still transfixed on the moon. He slowly started walking towards the cliff. My last glance was Jamal, extending his hand towards Jaden, centimeters from the land, and his aghast expression as he tried to extend his others towards me. He tried to save us both, but could he save any of us? He watched me slip off the back of the board, tumbling into the pits. I faintly heard the cries of Jamal in the background. Oh my gosh, I was not going to die like this. I began to think quickly. The gap between the cliffs was now about the size of 3 school buses, back to back. I had it to think quickly. I rubbed my necklace along with both of my bracelets together, blindly, as wind and dirt whipped into my eyes. At that moment, my bracelets transformed into glovelets, and I protracted foot-long claws that shot out from my glove fingertips. They were metallic and durable. As I fell down the everlasting pit, I saw a blaze of fire at the bottom, brighter than the sun. The wind smashed me to the side of the wall. Ignoring the pain, I took this blow as my advantage, and I dug my claws into the earth of the wall, barely grabbing on. The cliff slowly began to crumble, and I heard the sound of laughter from below. I gathered all of my strength and all of my courage, climbing out of the earthly ditch as quickly as I could, with the grace of a tiger. Dirt blinded me, but I refused to give up. I clawed my way up and out of the wall. I felt weak, and the next moment I felt the earth completely stop expanding. It stayed like that for a hot minute, but then the only thing worse than expansion happened. The walls began to close in together. Would it get sandwiched, squashed together like bread and cheese? I hope not. Rocks fell beneath my feet, landing into who knows what or how deep. Scratches and blisters covered my skin. With inner strength and adrenaline, I gained speed as the earth started closing in on me. Naya! A voice from above. I was almost at the top. I needed some more time. All the forces of nature seemed to conspire against me. It rained harder, the wind blew down on me, and the soil began to close. Hair clung to my face, wet and soggy. Sweat raced across my brow. My heart hammered slowly and mighty. Just as the walls closed in, almost within arm's reach, I wall jumped, leaping off one wall to the other, and I felt the weight of my body as it smashed to the other side of the earth. At the last moment, I felt the eye of the tiger and forced every part of me into game mode. I hauled myself over the top with a final breath. I made it. I made it! The cliffs closed in together, sealing its crack. The rain stopped and the clouds parted. Everything looked back to normal. Normal? No. Nothing about this was normal. The forces of nature were at ease, as if this was all a dream, as if nothing happened, all forgotten. As if, just maybe, if I opened my eyes, I would be back home, in bed, and this mirage would fade away. I expected to hear the cries of Jaden and Jamal rushing to my side, but I looked to both sides, and none of them were there. That's the end of that little excerpt. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you. Just remember, Midnight Warriors, the last breath.